2023 safety Dakari Nelson has included the Oregon Ducks in his top schools. Just a little background on Nelson. He's a four-star safety out of Selma, Alabama. He's listed at 6'3", 203 pounds, and he comes in at a 0.9278 on the 247 Sports composite. And this is, not a huge piece of news for the Ducks, but anytime you have a guy that's from the Southeast that places you in his top schools, at least shows that there's mutual interest. So just wanted to hop in and give a quick little update on kind of where things stand with Dakari Nelson. I spoke with Nelson after he received his offer back earlier this month in March, and it was definitely one that surprised him. Is something I hear a lot from guys that get offered in the Southeast by Oregon, and you can understand that, right? Seeing that Oregon isn't a school that has set up shop in the Southeast traditionally, but that certainly looks like it's going to be a trend that continues between the Mario Cristobal and now Dan Lanning era at Oregon. So Nelson hasn't been out to Eugene before, but he didn't rule out a visit to Eugene. When I asked him if that was a possibility, he told me that he told Coach Matthew Powledge that the quickest way to get him out to campus is to keep in contact with his parents. So something that's definitely going to be important in the recruiting process for him is keeping that family connection and recruiting not only him, but also his family is what he told me. And he recently dropped those top schools. Like I mentioned, the other schools that were included in that, give me just a second here. We have Tennessee, Auburn, Arkansas, Clemson, Oklahoma, Penn State, UCF, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, obviously Oregon, and Florida State. On the recruiting trail, Nelson has been fairly busy, taking a couple trips recently. He was out in Tennessee for a visit with the Volunteers, where he got to spend time with Coach Josh Heupel. He really liked his energy there. And let's see what else he had to say about that trip. Just the fact that the Vols are being super consistent with their recruiting, the recruitment of him. Consistent contact is going to be a key factor. That was the first SEC offer that he had. So you can see that this is something that has a lot of value with these prospects in the Southeast. And I think that's part of the reason it's been a little difficult for the Ducks to break into the Southeast in the past, because you have these traditional SEC programs that are not only located a lot closer to these guys, so these trips are a lot easier for them to take, but they also start getting looks at these guys as early as 7th or 8th grade, and they start that contact really early. So we've seen it time and time again, but just another example of how important it is to offer early and start building that relationship really kind of from the jump for the Ducks with a lot of these prospects. But as far as other programs, let me just gather myself here for a second. Other safety prospects to keep an eye on. We have Cody DeCamara out of Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman. He is reportedly going to be taking another visit out here to Eugene in April. I've talked to him over on Ducks Digest before. Also, safety Ty Lee out of St. John Bosco. He's going to be in town in early April as well, along with his teammate, 2024 safety Peyton Woodyard. He's viewed by a lot of people as one of the top safeties in the entire country. So it's important to get him on campus. Oregon looking to set up shop in Southern California once again. And it's not only going to be at St. John Bosco. We've seen a bunch of different offers out to Mater Dei. Bishop Amat is another one that's out in the Southern California area. Lincoln High School, where the Ducks got Jaleel Florence and Jaleel Tucker. So we've seen that time and time again, how important that Los Angeles, Southern California pipeline is. So that just kind of gives you a little bit of a picture here with the safety recruitment in this Oregon 2023 class. They only have Cole Martin right now in the fold, the 2023 cornerback out of Basha High School out there in Arizona. But I think as we get closer to the spring game, we're now less than a month out from the spring game. We're going to continue to see some moves being made by the Ducks, not necessarily commitments, but guys that are setting up trips to Oregon, including Oregon in their top schools. And I think once we get to that spring game, maybe even shortly thereafter, wouldn't be surprised if we see some commitments, as that's usually been the case for Oregon following the spring game. And you also have to think about how much hype is around this spring game. Oregon hasn't been able to host fans for the last 2 years for spring games. And on top of that, prospects haven't been able to come out here. So Dan Lanning's obviously making it a priority to really, really drum up buzz for this spring game, the marquee recruiting event for the Oregon Ducks and the 2 calendar year now. And then we'll see. We're still yet to see if Dan Lanning's going to do Saturday Night Live, but I would assume he does something like that, like we saw with the previous coaching staff. And then another thing with the spring game, he also announced that there's going to be some former Oregon legends that are going to be coming to be the respective coaches of the yellow and green team. We have Michael James, DeAnthony Thomas, Eric Armstead, Haloti Ngata, just a couple of former notable alumni that are going to be in town for that Oregon spring game set for April 23rd. So just wanted to give a quick update here on Dakari Nelson. Ducks definitely going to need to prioritize getting him out here to Eugene for an official visit, another lengthy defensive back that the Ducks have zeroed in on the recruiting trail. And that's been a trend that has been increasing in college football, is those longer defensive backs. Ty Lee, that Bosco safety I mentioned, he's listed at 6'3". So safeties are definitely interesting. And I think that the Ducks are going to have their work cut out for them a little bit with Dakari Nelson, seeing that he's from the state of Alabama. But we all know how much it can change when you can get a guy on campus. So look for them to try to get him on campus here in the coming months as he's eyeing a decision, probably during his senior season is what he told me. So we'll see what happens on the recruiting trail with Dakari Nelson, but good development for the Ducks landing in his top schools.